Welcome back, everybody. Derek Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, another insurer is leaving California, or actually, I should say not leaving, but no longer insuring new customers, new policy holders in California. So that's Allstate. Allstate just announced it will no longer be issuing new policies in California, and that goes along with State Farm. Those are the some two of the largest insurers here in California, and this makes the real estate market even more difficult because a lot of folks depended upon State Farm for their loan insurance, and also Allstate. Another big insurer in California is Farmers Insurance, and um, the insurers have lost a lot of money, yes, but also they've made a tremendous amount of money over the decades. And I have to say that as a former homeowner, I had State Farm for a number of years, and it was uh, in 2004 when when I had just gotten my dogs, and uh, I was insuring the home. We had already sold our condo, so I was transferring the policy to the single family home on Santa Clara Avenue that I was in the process of remodeling. And so anyway, they didn't like my dogs. They had a policy against aggressive breed dogs, and so they refused to insure me. That was State Farm, and this is after 20 years of being a loyal customer. And they say, like a good neighbor? No, they're not a good neighbor, and you're not in good hands. Because right now they're just concerned with their profits. If they're not going to be insuring any new homes or any new home purchases in California, so that makes it extremely makes a really bad real estate market even more difficult, because that really lowers uh, the number of insurers here in California. How I got around insurance was that I was already a business, and I had corporate insurance policy. So what I did, I added my home to the corporate insurance policy, and that also allowed me to have my aggressive dogs, my aggressive breed dogs. So there are ways to get around what's happening here in California, and Allstate, State Farm, they're going to continue insuring those that they already have policy riders on uh, for now. They're not canceling anybody, but that's always a high probability moving into the future. So all the insurers are doing is exacerbating an already difficult situation for home purchasers, and then those that are already in the fire zones that are being paid out, highly likely they're not going to be insured, because once the payout is completed, the insurance company is going to drop them. And so this is now uh, the time when we should be looking at nearly fireproof homes if we're going to be building in fire zones, metal uh, siding, or metal, yeah, actually metal siding, and then you can decorate the metal siding to look like stone or wood or anything else. And then the insulation, the new type of insulation, which is virtually fireproof, is rock wool. Rock wool is actually made from rocks, and so they're melted down, and a new insulation mat is made, and there it's, if not more efficient than fiberglass batting. Rock wool is fireproof, whereas fiberglass batting is not. And so we have to utilize new materials. steel framing of homes rather than wood framing, hurricane steel roofs on the top of the home so that fire and embers can't ignite the asphalt tiles that have been traditionally used in a lot of those homes. And so we have to change the materials. We have to make them more fireproof. And then also the thing with steel building, steel framing, they can be assembled much quicker. They can be assembled cheaper and more earthquake resistant, more fire resistant, and quieter. So we have to abandon a lot of the old traditional construction ways. And then there's new materials such as hempcrete. Hempcrete is virtually fireproof, and the hempcrete becomes the wall and the structure, the supporting structure for the home. So we have to employ new building techniques and use the new materials that are available for homes rather than going back to building, knowing that traditional wood stick buildings are going to burn in the fire zones. And so we have to get away from things that are going to burn. But the insurance companies, they're not your friends, they're not your good neighbors. So I hated insurance companies all the time, but they're like lawyers, a necessary evil. So I hope that a lot of you can find insurance in other means. There's other companies out there. Geico is probably the next most likely company that's going to be pulling new policies here in California because they're also another large insurer here in California. And then also with the homes, that's just, like I said, it's just going to make home buying more difficult for folks because in order to get into that home and complete the escrow, you have to have insurance policy in place for that mortgage. So unless we're able to buy the home outright completely, but even then, insurance should still be a high priority in the event of something happening or somebody falling on your property. These are why you have insurance, to cover yourself. And then on top of the insurance, I highly recommend that you get an umbrella policy. Umbrella policies cover a lot of things that your typical homeowner policies don't cover. And an umbrella policy really isn't that terribly expensive, and you can get them in large coverage. I had a $2 million umbrella policy, and it only cost me $400 a year for that umbrella policy. So it was very, very reasonable, and it covered me for things outside of my business, outside of my home policy, and also covered me in the event that my American Staffordshire Terrier really hurt somebody. And so that was one of the primary reasons why I got the umbrella policy, because umbrella policies do cover dogs. And so that's something that you should be made aware of, and when you're asking around for insurance. And if you have an aggressive breed dog, make sure you ask about that. And in some states, certain aggressive breed dogs are banned. So thanks for joining me today. Hopefully insurers get their act together and abandon what they're trying to do, control the market. Thanks for joining me today.